Hi, this is Ayako Sekiguchi from Pre-Nest Kitchen. This time, the ingredient to boost your immunity is this. I'll be introducing an all-purpose mushroom dish made with various kinds of mushrooms. This all-purpose mushroom dish actually has a synergistic effect that boosts your immunity more than using just one type of mushroom. Also, mushrooms surprisingly don't keep very long, but with this, they keep much better. So I really recommend it. It's really convenient to prepare these all-purpose mushrooms in advance, and you can use them in all kinds of dishes. I'll show you some ways to use them too. I'll also talk about the nutritional benefits of mushrooms, so please watch until the end. Hirunasu Kitchen focuses on anti-aging through food. We'll keep sharing information to help both your mind and body feel great. So please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Now, let's talk again about the nutrition of mushrooms. One thing that can be said about mushrooms in general is that they are very high in dietary fiber and low in calories. When you think of mushrooms, you likely associate them with dieting. They're known for boosting gut health. Mushrooms contain vitamins B1 and B2, which support metabolism, and vitamin D, which helps boost the immune system. Mushrooms are rich in amino acids, giving them their umami flavor. Varieties like shimeji and shiitake also contain a lot of ornithine, which is quite interesting. Ornithine is also found in shijimi clams, which are said to be good for hangovers. But surprisingly, shimeji and shiitake mushrooms actually contain much more ornithine than shijimi clams do. They also contain gamma-aminobutyric acid, which is said to help reduce stress, and they can help suppress cancer as well. Another feature is that they are rich in something called beta-glucan. Beta-glucan is also a type of fermentable dietary fiber, so it can be converted into beneficial components by good bacteria in the gut, improving the intestinal environment. It is also known to directly stimulate immune cells and activate factors involved in immunity, providing various health benefits. It controls blood sugar, lowers cholesterol, and suppresses cancer, among other benefits. Mushrooms contain a variety of wonderful components, so mushrooms are highly beneficial. I was also surprised to learn that mushrooms are high in ornithine. But ornithine it helps with recovery from fatigue and supports the liver. It's effective, and mushrooms are, rather than using just one type by itself, if you mix about 3 kinds together, the synergistic effect of the umami components each one has makes it tastier. And the synergistic effect of the nutrients each one contains leads to benefits like cancer suppression. It also has the effect of boosting your immune system. So I really hope you'll try using a mix of several different kinds. These are the ingredients for the all-purpose mushrooms. First, the mushrooms. This time, I have prepared maitake, shimeji, king oyster, and shiitake mushrooms. Please prepare about 500 grams in total as the main ingredient. I recommend using at least 3 types. And you'll need 2 cloves of garlic and 3 tablespoons of olive oil. This time I'm using olive oil, but you can use rice oil, sesame oil, or any oil you like. First, let's start with the shimeji mushrooms. Cut off the base, the root part. Then, separate the shimeji mushrooms into individual pieces. Basically, all types of mushrooms can be frozen. So if you buy them and don't plan to use them right away, it's easiest and most recommended to separate them like this and put them in a storage bag like a Ziploc, then store them in the freezer. However, by preparing them deliciously in advance like we're doing today, you can easily use them in a variety of dishes, and it makes your meals even tastier. This method also helps boost your immune system, so I really hope you'll give it a try. Now, let's separate the shiitake mushrooms as well. Basically, mushrooms are not washed. Mushrooms sold at supermarkets are produced in factories in clean environments, so they're not really dirty. But if you're concerned, you can wipe them with a tightly wrung-out cloth. If you wipe the cap part with a cloth like this, it will help prevent your dish from becoming watery when you cook. So it's fine to use them as they are. Thank you very much. Since mushrooms contain a lot of moisture, they shrink when cooked, so cut them a little larger. I also cut the shiitake mushrooms into small pieces. Crush the whole garlic once to release its aroma, then chop it. It's fine to chop it a little coarsely. Pour olive oil into the frying pan, then add the garlic from earlier. Sauté the olive oil and garlic until they become fragrant. Garlic itself is also a very useful ingredient for boosting immunity and suppressing cancer. Okay, the garlic is starting to smell really good now. This time, it's quite strong. Since we're using lots of mushrooms, use a large frying pan and cook plenty at once. They're mushrooms, but most of them are actually water. Turn up the heat a little and sear them slightly to evaporate the moisture. Concentrating the flavor is the key to making it delicious. I've increased the heat and will stir fry everything quickly. Please remember the current amount. I want to compare how much the greens will shrink. It's mushrooms. As they gradually soften, they'll start to release moisture. We'll keep cooking off the moisture from the mushrooms until the amount is reduced quite a bit. By adding several types of mushrooms, the more kinds of amino acids they contain, the more the umami flavor becomes concentrated. And by cooking off the moisture, it becomes even more delicious. You can see there's almost no moisture left at the bottom of the pan, right? That's proof the flavor has concentrated. Spread it out a little and let's brown the surface. Compared to the original amount, it's been reduced to about a third, hasn't it? The delicious flavor of the mushrooms really gets concentrated, doesn't it? Yes, the mushrooms have browned all over, so I'll lower the heat. Since we're making all-purpose mushrooms this time, I'll keep the seasoning really simple with just salt so they can go well with all kinds of dishes. You can also add soy sauce if you like. This time, I'm not adding anything extra, but you'll really be able to enjoy the rich flavor of just the mushrooms. Since it's a dish like this, I intentionally used only salt. Please try to enjoy the delicious flavor of these mixed mushrooms. The mushrooms have a nice sear, so I'll turn off the heat now. The all-purpose mushrooms are ready. All those mushrooms have shrunk down and become so concentrated like this. Since all the flavor and nutrients are packed in, these mushrooms are really powerful. You can use them to create all kinds of different dishes. For example, if you add plenty of these mushrooms and some seasoning when cooking rice, you can make mushroom rice. Well then, since you process the mushrooms right after picking them, you don't have to worry about them spoiling in the fridge. And you can also expect delicious flavors and health benefits from mixing different kinds of mushrooms together. First, I'd like to have a taste. Please excuse me for tasting it while standing. These are just regular mushrooms, but you know, it smells so wonderful that you think it's a rare mushroom from places like France or Italy. Kutamashi, tamashi, tamashi, tamashi. Soul. Thank you for watching. It's super delicious. It's really just an ordinary mushroom, but the umami flavor is packed in tightly. The key points are definitely the cooking method and the fact that it's blended. With this, you can just put it on top of regular ramen or soba, and it would make them look really luxurious. You can really arrange it in all kinds of dishes, and just using it as a topping, I think that's more than enough. Of course, you can also enjoy it just as it is. It's also perfect as a snack with drinks. It's also really handy for making side dishes for bento in advance. Please give it a try. Please use it up within about 4 to 5 days in the refrigerator. This time, I introduced a versatile mushroom dish using mushrooms, which help boost your immune system. Ordinary mushrooms become surprisingly delicious. They're also very convenient because you can use them in all kinds of dishes. Please give it a try. Thank you for watching until the end, and I'll see you in another video.